There's a war within the opposition. Who will take the leadership position in the run-up to 2024? Mamata Banerjee is clearly showing that the Trinamool Congress is ready to take the charge. She went to Maharashtra and met Shiva Sena leaders. Uddhav Thackeray was hospitalized, so she met his son and cabinet minister Aditya Thackeray and Sanjay Raut. And then she met Sharad Pawar, in which the meeting, Praful Patel was also present, along with, in fact, Abhishek Banerjee, who's Mamata Banerjee's nephew. Is the Trinamool Congress trying to elbow out the Congress party from the leadership position of the anti-BJP front? Is that the objective? And if that is the objective, will it be possible for this anti-BJP front to be ready and be powerful enough against the BJP in 2024? All those aspects we'll be discussing with our guests here on the show. We have with us senior journalist and author Rashid Kidwai and Manojit Mandal, TMC member. Many thanks both of you for joining us here on this digital chat. Manojit Mandal, I want to come first to you. What does Mamata Banerjee mean when she says there is no UPA? What is the UPA? Is she trying to question the leadership of the Congress party and its ability to lead an opposition alliance?
The answer to this question lies in the fact that when did you have the UPA meeting last? I don't remember any such meeting in the last couple of years, or maybe after the parliamentary election of 2019. I mean, the fact remains that Maha in this country, the oldest party of this country, they have failed to galvanize the opposition party. It's amply clear, and on the other hand, they are completely dwindling. I mean, look at the states after states, how they are running. I mean, Bengal completely finished. Congress party is almost not there. I mean, even in Punjab, where they should have had a cake run, dream run. They're fighting among themselves. For the last 2.5 years, they don't have a president to lead the party. And we are a political party. Mamata is a political leader, tested leader. Everyone knows she has got even a political career of over 4 decades now. And the last election in Bengal, I think it has proven beyond reasonable doubt that if at all anybody, it is Mamata who can radically take on the dual patriarchal power of Modi and Mr. Shah. It's amply clear. I mean, Congress has to get their acts together. We are not having any kind of alliance with the Congress party anywhere in the country. So why should I listen to them? We have got every right to expand our base. We have got every right to go to other states, especially where BJP is ruling and the opposition is getting weakened. Right. We are just trying to galvanize the opposition in other words.
So I'll interrupt you there, Manojit Mandal, because you make a point about trying to expand your base. That really is the point. Does the Trinamool Congress even have that kind of national base to be demanding a leadership position in the opposition at the national level? You are limited to West Bengal largely. In Tripura, the things did not turn out the way you would have wanted to. Congress definitely is there in power in many other states. I'll come to you. Before that, I want to go to Rashid Kidwai. Rashid Kidwai, can the Trinamool Congress replace the Congress party as a galvanizing force for the opposition?
Well, Maha, theoretically, yes. But there are certain, stark realities are there of Indian political system. You look at in Tamil Nadu, for instance, the DMK and AIDMK, they're very well entrenched. But if you look at Puducherry, which is like a neighboring district of Tamil Nadu, you see they are not a force to be reckoned with. Samajwadi Party is most important party in Uttar Pradesh, but in Bihar it's a zero. Or Rashtriya Janata Dal, is very much potent force in Bihar, but it's irrelevant in Uttar Pradesh. So these kind of things happen. But what I'm saying is the Trinamool has a right to expand. They have a legitimate right. Fact of the matter is there is no UPA, because the UPA, United Front, National Front, Janata Party, so many, I've been writing this, they were formed with an intent to form the government. Now, where will they form the government? So there cannot be a front sitting in the opposition. You see, you saw what happened in Maharashtra. MVA came. It was not a UPA.
Yes.
Okay. In Tamil Nadu also there is alliance. In Jharkhand also there is alliance. I'm talking about the Congress governments wherever there are. So there are alliances, but these alliances are localized. There was Mahagathbandhan in Bihar. There was this Uttar Pradesh ke ladke in Uttar Pradesh in 2017. So these kind of alliances take place. Thing
Hmm.
is, these people are, this is a posture time, according to me as an analyst. Mamata Banerjee is posturing that she's there and everyone should play. The problem is Congress doesn't want to concede that space. If Congress
Hmm.
had made Mamata Banerjee or Sharad Pawar as a convener of some kind of broad front,
Hmm.
they don't want to give their political position
Exactly.
to Mamata Banerjee. They don't want to recognize Mamata as a winner. That's the
All
problem.
All right. So I'll interrupt both of you there because both of you have raised the point about the UPA and its non-existence really in the current political scenario. Let's listen into exactly what Mamata Banerjee said yesterday, which actually whipped up this entire controversy. Listen.
जो परिस्थिति चल रहा है देश में, जैसा फैसिज्म चल रहा है, इसको खिलाफ में एक स्ट्रॉन्ग ऑल्टरनेटिव फोर्स बनाना चाहिए। अकेला कोई नहीं कर सकता है। जो स्ट्रॉन्ग जिधर में है उसको लेके करना पड़ेगा। है क्या यूपी? अभी यूपी नहीं है। यूपी क्या है? आज जो परिस्थिति चल रहा है देश में, जैसा फैसिज्म चल रहा है।
All right. We just heard what Mamata Banerjee said, and interestingly, right after that, we'll play that soundbite as well. Sharad Pawar was also asked a question about whether the Congress is going to be part of this anti-BJP front or not, and whether Sharad Pawar himself, being the senior most leader, would want to lead this alliance. Let's listen in to what Sharad Pawar said. All right. We'll try and go back to that in just a bit. Basically, Sharad Pawar did not answer that question quite directly, Rashid Kidwai and Manojit Mandal. And it clearly appeared while both of them were talking to the media that there was certainly a contradiction or at least difference of opinion in whether there can be an anti-BJP front without the Congress party. Manojit Mandal, do you think
Yes.
that there is a possibility at all of a third front without the Congress party then?
So I think let us first acknowledge, I mean, quite poetically, the UP has melted into air. It has got no existence right now. Let us acknowledge that. Last meeting now I remember was held probably before 2019 election. So long time back, almost 3 years. Yes, whether it is possible to have a third front and then have Congress as well, I think it's quite possible. We can form a third front, and Congress can come to that fold, immediately after that. And it's for that, the first thing that Congress needs to do, as my good friend Mr. Kidwai has made it quite clear, they need to, shout off their egos. They still consider that they're the biggest political party in this country. It's not the case at all. They have to understand they don't have a leader. And Maha, you and I know that the Indian election for the last two consecutive years, 2014 and 2019, have been almost presidential. You have to understand that we need a leader to take on Mr. Narendra Modi. One of the massive advantages with BJP was that they have got a leader like Narendra Modi. And who else can take Narendra Modi at this point in time? To the best of my knowledge, it's only Mamta Di, none
All
else.
right.
And she
So,
has proven it
Rashid
beyond reasonable doubt.
Okay, Rashid Kidwai, then is the Trinamool Congress only playing on the personality bit, projecting Mamata Banerjee as the face because she was able to take on the bigwigs of the BJP, including the Prime Minister, in the West Bengal elections? And also your comments on how does and where does it leave the opposition when Mamata Banerjee makes a comment against Rahul Gandhi, pretty much similar to what the BJP says about him being out of the country for long stretches.
Maha, we must understand that in order to replace Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the combined opposition has to get the mark of 272. They have to get 272 Lok Sabha seats. Nothing short would suffice. Now the problem is that there is a one part that Congress has to play to wherever the Congress and BJP are in direct fight. And there is a thing about the regional parties like Trinamool and DMK and NCP and others. They also have a role to play. Unless they both pull it up and come to 150 seats each, then only Mr. Modi, BJP, NDA can be defeated. This is a stark reality which I'm afraid both sides are unwilling to accept. See, the Congress sees this is a kind of a poaching plan. Because once you accord some kind of importance to Mamata Banerjee, no people will stop going to Tenjanpad. or 12th Tughlaq, crescent, etc., which is Rahul Gandhi's residence. So this is a battle for supremacy. The Congress is within its political rights to, try to consolidate. What if they win in Punjab and Uttarakhand? What if they come number
Exactly.
two and relegate? Trinamool in to third spot in Goa. So all this, I am saying, lot will happen after March when results of these 5 state assemblies are there. Then you will see how G20 will behave. Then you will see this, Sharad Pawar, because remember, Pawar is a politician among politicians. He is a contender for prime minister, for president, for UPA chairmanship, whatever you can think of it. वो जैसे like there was a song कि मेरे पैरों में घुंघरू बांध दे फिर मेरी चाल देख ले. That is Sharad Pawar.
Okay, but I want your comments specifically on these comments made on the leadership of Rahul Gandhi. When a comment is made, is there also some sort of acknowledgement that he is in the reckoning for the leadership position? Otherwise, why would you make that comment?
Obviously, that's the fear. And see, the Rahul is very unconventional politician. You look at what happened to this Jyotiraditya Scindia, Jitin Prasad, Sushmita Dev. He says my doors are open. Anybody who wants to leave the party may leave. He does not believe in. He's not projecting himself as presidential candidate. See, everyone thinks, but Rahul is only concerned about the issues that he thinks are important. You can go on condemning it, but you cannot change person's personality. He is like that.
Exactly.
So, but you are saying, and I want Amanojit Mandal to come here, that kind of politics that Rahul Gandhi does, at the current moment, there is no space for it. Is that what Amanojit Mandal, the TMC, believes?
Absolutely. You remember what was happening exactly a year ago when the big leaders from Trinamool Congress were trying to switch over, like Shubhendu Adhikari, Rajiv Banerjee, and so on and so forth. Almost there would be discussion at all level. Abhishek Banerjee, Prashant Kishore, the strategists, they were all trying to get them back. That's what politics is all about. You need to get your house in order. Even Shubhendu Adhikari, knowing fully well that he was given 25 posts in the in the government cabinet and so on and so forth. Abhishek went to him, Prashant Kishore went to him, Mamata talked to him. That's the kind of belongingness, ownership that you need to instill in your party worker, like Jyotiraditya Scindia, like Jitin Prasad, and Hemant Biswa Sharma a long time back. What are they just doing? Is it a sense of entitlement? Is it a culture of entitlement they're still trying to carry forward? I tell you, I have read the history of Congress Party for last 187 years. It has been always there. But the Gandhis came into picture only after the independence. Only after independence. Or maybe I would be saying the time of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. The Gandhis' influence in the Congress presidential election was very much evident only after 1939. That's very famous, historical metamorphosis of India. Had Netaji been written as the president of Congress Party, the history of this country would have changed. But this is happening for the last 80 years in the Congress Party. Even immediately before they in independence, they need to come out of that. And on top of this, you're running away. You don't running the party. Still, all said and done, all said and done. Still, Rahul Gandhi is one of the popular leaders in the country, but he doesn't want to take responsibility. He runs away. Bhagoda ho to kya kiya ja sakta hai? You can't run from the battlefield. Abhishek did not. Look at on the other hand. Look at Abhishek. Abhishek is barely 32, 31 years of age. He went to Tripura, and for your kind information, only in 4 months we could garner 20% of votes, and that gave us huge boost of more expansion. Other parts of the country. Mind you, again, once strategically, we are not going to Punjab because Congress is ruling there. We are not going to Rajasthan because Congress is ruling there. We will not give any benefit to BJP. To somehow dismiss your hypothesis about that. We are not going to Madhya Pradesh. We are not going to Chhattisgarh because Congress is ruling. Congress is very much powerful. We are going to the places where BJP is powerful and Congress is weakened. We are trying to get the space, and we have got every right to do that.
Fair enough. So, final comment from you, Rashid Kadwai. Is there a bid now, not just by the BJP, interestingly, to oust the Gandhi family from the political scenario, but now within the opposition as well?
Yes, that is very much there. And as Maha said, this is a legitimate political activity to upstage one another. But I would rely on a misquote by Mark Twain, when he had said the news of his death is highly exaggerated. This is what is all about Congress party. Most people are getting it wrong. Rahul Gandhi will remain Rahul Gandhi. We can go and say that he's Abhishek Bachchan of Indian politics or whatever we may say, but he knows he's Rahul Gandhi, and that is his strength.
All right. All right. So we'll leave it at that. And we'll see, as Rashid Kidwai is pointing out, the things that could change in the political scenario in the run up to 2024. Much of it will be decided after early next year's critical polls in some of the major states. Many thanks, Rashid Kidwai and Manojit Mandar,
Thank
for
you.
joining us here
Nice,
in this
nice to
interesting chat.